everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, February the 3rd. My name's Jan. I'm going to wait for a couple of you to hop on, and while I do, I would love to, when you do hop on, I'd love to know where you're joining us from. And if you are currently a Bellamy partner, a happy Bellamy customer, or a soon-to-be one or the other. And I'd also love to know if you're watching this live or on the replay. How are you guys doing? Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to share with you my story, and if you've been around Bellamy for a while, I've shared my story a lot. So for me to do this today, what I really wanted to do was give a different perspective, and one that I have not really ever talked about before, and not because for any other reason than I always start at the good part, I guess. And so I'm super excited to share with you just kind of a different perspective, and something that really I've thought about just over the last few weeks, and it's been very enlightening. So I'll start with my name. My name is Jan Estes. I live in Richmond, Virginia. I have 3 kids. I have an adult daughter who she'll be 25 this year, which is crazy to me. I have Liam, who is 10, and I have Anders, who will be 9 on Sunday. I spent a large portion of my life working in corporate America, which I'm always so thankful for, and always talk very highly of corporate America. It made me who I am today. But I found out about network marketing kind of by an accident, which I talk about a lot. But through that, sort of realized the potential of the industry and myself. And so now I'm very happily a full-time network marketer here with Bellamy. I'm so excited about that. So if you've heard me talk before, you've probably heard me talk about how network marketing, specifically Bellamy, brought me home to my 2 boys. They both have dyslexia and learning differences, and so it was really important to us when we found that out to be able to come home with them and to stay with them so that I could homeschool them. And network marketing was the vessel that let me do that. And that is my story that I tell everybody because I'm so pumped about it. But there's so much more to me, and so much more to the story about why I love it here so much. And I never talk about it. So I always start in the middle. I always start at the good part when I sort of realize my potential and jumped right in, and you can too, right? But there's this piece that was before that was the part that held me back, right? So to get to the very cool place I am today, we have to start back a long time ago when I was a kid. And I grew up really poor. And I'll be honest, I've never said these words to anybody really. So if I get emotional, I'm going to try to power through it because that's just who I am as a person. But this is just not something I talk about. But it's important because I know that there are people like me that think the way that I'm going to talk to you about. And I'm hoping to touch you today. So I grew up poor, and not in a bad way. We always had just enough, right? That was my life. It never occurred to me to live any differently than just enough. If my brother or my sister were on right now, we would talk about how we always had just enough. We always had food to eat, but it wasn't always necessarily what we wanted. We always had clothes. It wasn't necessarily the latest, greatest. We always had a roof over our heads. Sometimes we had a car, sometimes we didn't. Just kind of depend on the month or the year. But we were happy, and it was just enough, right? So it never occurred to me that I was different than anybody else until middle school. And I remember I had 2 pairs of jeans, which sounds crazy, right? And one of them got a hole that I couldn't wear them anymore. And so I had one pair of jeans that I wore to school every day. And it wasn't the kind of jeans that you could probably get away with wearing every day. They were very different, unique jeans. So everybody knew that I was wearing the same pair of jeans every day. And this girl came up to me and said, "Why do you wear the same pair of pants every day?" And I was like, "I don't know." Because I only have one. And it was just sort of matter of fact, But it was then that I realized, this is weird, right? This is weird. I have one pair of pants, but people have more. And that stuck with me. And even though that stuck with me, I lived in this place where that was their life and I had mine, and I got just enough. And that was okay. So that was my life, and it was fine. And I grew up, and I got pregnant when I was 19 years old, and I was a single mom for 11 years. And during that 11 years, I'm going to tell you that I lived with just enough. Just enough. And sometimes it wasn't even just enough. Sometimes I had to let things go so that I could keep food on the table for my daughter, or that I could keep a roof over our head. So sometimes just enough wasn't even enough, but we always made it work. And that was the life that I was taught how to live. That was the life I was happy living. And it never occurred to me that all the people around me that were having, new cars and vacations and new homes and things like that I was like them. I didn't see that. I was like, that was theirs and this is mine. And I have what I'm supposed to have, and they have what they're supposed to have. And there was no bitterness. I wasn't unhappy. It just felt that way. I lived in this place where I thought that that's the way it was supposed to be for me. It was the way I was when I was a kid. It's the way it was when I was growing up. So even when I was in corporate America and I was working, right? I was getting degrees, or I was getting certifications so I could get the next job, so I could get the next just enough. And that is what I did. When I met Art, my husband, I still lived that way. And I'm saying this to you because I'm 46 years old, and it took a really long time for me to realize I was just like everybody else. I deserved more than one pair of pants. And that I could get that. And there was no reason for me to see myself different than anybody else. I was capable, right? But even still, I have 3 kids, right? I have a really good job in corporate America. And I look at the people in corporate America, and I look at the CEOs and the VPs, and I think, that's theirs. And I have mine. I have just enough, right? I joined network marketing, and I joined network marketing for fun, right? And in my first company, I see these leaders, I see these top leaders, I see these, income earners, and I think that's theirs. And I have just enough in this company. And that was okay. And I went to my second company. And this is where I found out that I could do this. I could do this industry. I could do this, and I could make it work for me. And even though I found success there, to a certain degree, there were still people in that company. There were still leaders in that company. There was still a corporate office that I thought that was theirs and this is mine. And I have just enough. So, enter Bellamy, right? I have been with Bellamy since it started, happily. But I can honestly say, looking back on my time from where I am now and where I was, that when I started here, I felt the same way. And there was no reason for me to feel that way at all. But I felt like as I got here and people joined my team and we were all doing these beautiful things together, for whatever reason, I still felt like the girl with one pair of jeans, the girl that just had enough. And it really took this tribe and this community and the success here with my team and people telling me every day, and not just me, hearing them say to other people every day, you deserve it, you're worthy. Just enough became just abundance without me ever even knowing. And that happened here. And so I'm saying this to you, and I wanted to come with this story because I feel like so many people live in a just enough world and forget that they're so capable of so much more. Or they look at other people that are doing things and think, I wish I could be like that person. I wish I could do these things. Without realizing that you can, because you didn't get born with just your stuff and just enough. You didn't get born with that. And so I look back at my life now, and I never really talk about the time where, for the better part of my life, because I've only been in this industry for, I think, 5 years at this point, the better part of my life, I lived in a just enough world. And what I found at Bellamy was so much more, with people, with the possibility. And so if you're watching this right now and you've been in network marketing before, maybe you've been in network marketing in a place like I was when I started network marketing, and I didn't think that I could be like other people that I see. I didn't think I could find the success. I didn't think I deserved more than what I had. That was for them, and this was for me. And what if that is you? What if you have done this before and you didn't think that you could be here standing on the other side of the screen telling your story to someone? But what if you could? And so if any part of that story resonated with you and you are tired of just enough and you want more, I can't tell you enough that this is where you can have it. In all the ways, all the well-rounded ways, right? I stay home with my kids, I homeschool my kids, and I still get to pay my bills. And I still get to be present for everything. And I have never felt so empowered and so passionate about a brand, and simply because the purpose behind it is helping others. Like, I thought my whole life, I just want to help others, and I'm totally doing it in a way that I would have never expected. And it's certainly not the way that your high school guidance counselor steers you to when you take that little test to determine what you'd be good at when you graduate. Helping others usually is assigned to things like teaching and nursing. And nowhere in there is network marketing, but the power and the possibility is incredible. So over the last few weeks and over the next few weeks, you're going to hear so many different stories from so many beautiful people that are partners with this brand, and for so many different reasons that they're so passionate about. And I encourage you to listen to all of them, because we cover our compensation plan, which puts money in our partners' pockets. And in a world like today, where jobs are hard to find, and quite honestly, I say this all the time, even if it was easy to find a job, nothing in life is free, because you can't even get free water. Everyone needs money. And if you're at a part of your life where you have just enough money, but you want more money, this is probably where you can get it. If you're at a part of your life where you have just enough love and support, but you want more, this is where you can get it. This is where you can get it. If you're at a part of your life where you have just enough community and just enough fellowship, you can get more. And it's here, I promise. So that's my story. I could talk to you for hours about all of the things that I love about this brand, but I have to close with this. In addition to just seeing what being in this business, this one, the Bellamy business, has done for so many people. I've seen it empower people. I've seen it give them confidence. I've seen it help them step out and do things they've never done before and come back and feel so good about it. In addition to all of that, I'm just going to say that I have never met a large group of people like the one here that just genuinely care for each other. But the reason that is because of Scott and Melissa. And that's just the truth. When you have people that wake up in the morning and their first thought is, how can they make your day better? Like, there's nothing can beat that. And you can feel that from the second you join. You can feel that. And so if you need someone or a lot of someone's to have your back and give you confidence and push you to the next level, in addition to everything else I said, this is where you're gonna get it. This is here. So if you watch this, go back to the partner that invited you to watch it. If you're watching it and you haven't really found a partner yet, I encourage you to find one. I encourage you to find someone to partner with and run with. And if you're watching it and before you started, you weren't quite sure what you wanted, but you knew you wanted more, I hope you know that just enough, you don't have to live like that, because there's so much more and we have it. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate you so much, and have a good Wednesday, friends. Bye.